to A Talking Matter, where we have conversations
that matter.
Okay? And this week I am joined by even more people, okay? And today we are going to be discussing, are we overexposed to suffering? So, like, before we get into everything, like, I know most of us 50-50 on this topic, but just a quick fire, yes or no, do we think we are overexposed to suffering?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So, let's get into it, y'all!
I think the first port of conversation is the whole Black Lives Matter movement. So I feel like everyone should just talk about how that experience, how that whole, I don't want to say week, but those couple weeks that everything happened, how everyone felt about it and stuff. Yeah, because you know, all melanated or whatever.
Barely. I'm sorry.
So personally, I had to I logged out of social media for a week because it was just a lot. Because like obviously being black is a bit mad. It's a bit mad to live in a white man's world, isn't it? Well, not white man's world, a white man's country. And like, obviously being in uni, like you can kind of like lie to yourself, like, oh, it doesn't exist. Like you're in a bubble, you're amongst your friends who look like you, like you're kind of around there, and like if anything happens, you're kind of like, whatever, I'm still around my people. But to like see it and just like see that people like were dying just because of the colour of their skin, and like hearing about all these like issues and other things that you didn't know about, and it's just like I just had to take a step back and be like, I gotta go. Like it was just a lot. Like it was just a lot. Like I couldn't hack it. So I guess in that kind of sense, we're kind. Did you introduce the topic?
Yeah.
Okay. In that kind of sense, we were like kind of are overexposed because, like, yes, I think information is good, but too much information is a lot. If you get what I mean.
I feel like it would. I do think we are overexposed to suffering, but I don't think that one was overexposure for everyone. For like, I personally, I couldn't watch any of the videos of people dying.
Any of them.
I couldn't watch it because I'm sorry, it seemed wildly inappropriate. But I feel like for some people that didn't realise how serious it was, they needed to see it. They need to see that suffering. Me, who understands the suffering that is occurring, the first time, okay, I can see it. But the back-to-back bodies that were dropping, I'm sorry, I couldn't handle it. It was way too much. And then the thing that shocked me the most was how people didn't even know it existed and the ignorance that followed. So then it's like it was back-to-back suffering, because I'm suffering seeing all these people dying, all these people going through it, and all the memories of the racism and stuff that we've experienced. And then you have people telling you your thing isn't real, or like it didn't really exist.
It's an American problem.
Your suffering's not that deep. So then I have to suffer twice. It was too much.
And I think that, like, on that note, I think what it was like you said, it was the back-to-backness of it. Because I feel like, okay, before George Floyd, hashtag Awadu Arbery was going around, you know, and that was even wild to, like, you know, again, I don't watch the videos. And I think that people that are sharing videos, like, cover it if it's an image, or have like a trigger warning, like cover it up. I feel like the fact that people are so easily able to watch someone die for it was a 9-minute video, guys, of someone dying, like that's tragic. Like it's actually just tragic, and it was like not anything I ever wanted
and it just
to
becomes
see.
so normalized.
Yeah, and then we're starting to normalize videos of watching people die. Like I think that's a crazy concept to begin with. It's almost like when you look at it, all the movies that we watch all have age ratings. Yeah. And in movies that people are dying, you're looking at 12, 15, 18. But now on social media, it's just
13.
It's just a thing where
and you know people are younger than
exactly.
Yeah, and people are just, you know, like watching people, like, this isn't a movie, it's not fake, this is real life. So I think it was the back-to-back nature of, okay, someone was jogging, they got shots. Okay, we're doing hashtag. Then next thing you know, someone went to the shop, now he's dying and begging because he can't. Like it was just a lot. And I think that, and originally, like initially, I was okay, like, let's do this, let's repost, let's talk about what's happening, let's have this movement. But I think it definitely affected me, and as much as it would anyone mentally, like, because it's like at the end of the day, it's suffering, and it's not like, oh, I didn't know how this was happening before. Like you said, it's not new to me. Let's be honest. We've been knew that American police have been killing black people for time, so it's not new to me. But it's the fact that, okay, I've been able to kind of live my life whilst, and it's kind of selfish at the same time. Like, I've kind of been able to live my life in a way that, as much as I know that's going on, it's kind of like I'm still able to escape from it. Whereas nowadays, there is no escape, because you will literally just log on to Instagram, to Twitter, to Snapchat, to TikTok. If like any social media platform you're on is there for you to just be consuming and consuming and consuming. So I think, you know, whilst, okay, yeah, we do need to know what's going on, and I think that social media is really big in terms of like championing social change, because we get to see the things that the big media outlets aren't ready to put out there. But I feel like there needs to be some kind of censoring, there needs to be some kind of limit, and people need to understand that not everyone's going to be able to speak on and handle everything that's put out there, because I think that's another thing. It's like everybody can handle different things. Like Chayam said, that like if you didn't know what was going on, you could probably watch it and be like, oh my gosh, like I didn't know that was going on. Whereas we know, I don't need to watch that video, I don't need to see it happen, because it's way too close to home. I don't ever want to see it. We all have families spread all over the world. I'm sure most of us have family in America, and all you're thinking about is your family that lives in America. Like, it's just not something that we all needed to see. So I think that, in that, especially with respect to that it was a lot, and that it was the fact that it happened and then it happened again, and then it was like, oh, by the way, while you're on George Floyd, Breonna Taylor got shot in her house while she was sleeping. Like, it was just like back to back to back to back.
Everywhere, and it wasn't just America, everywhere.
Yeah.
Then different countries are now saying, oh, by the way, we have this person that died.
Yes.
Or we have this person. It was like, I can't. I actually can't. Like, because then, and the thing is, it brings up memories. You think about all the things that happened in secondary school. You think about all the things that when you're walking down the street, things that were, names that were shouted, like the times you got spitted at, like all those things. Now they're all flooding back to you. Things that you've repressed, things that you pushed down. Plus now I have to be emotional for other people. You're just like, I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. Like, literally, I'm not surprised. Like, obviously, we're in the age where mental health has become more of a social topic of discussion, but I wouldn't be surprised if more people began to have mental health issues because of how much we're exposed to these things. Like, especially if you're such an empathetic person, like feeling all of these emotions for people that you don't know,
and you feel helpless.
You feel helpless because you don't know what. Yes, you can sign a petition. Yeah, you can do this, but at the end of the day, it's their family that's crying over them and bury them in the ground, and you couldn't do anything to stop that. And that feeling right there, like, it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all.
I think Twitter is the main problem. Instagram, I feel like, at least was filtered a bit. Like, they did the sensitive content before some of them. Twitter has they post anything with reckless abandon. People talk with reckless abandon. So then, like, you have all the suffering. People were starting threads about their own personal schools getting called out. Personal people getting called out. And then during the Black Lives Matter, there's also like sexual assault and all that came out at the same time. Twitter, I couldn't go on it. I couldn't, because it was only suffering. It was only bad times, and it got to a point where you couldn't even speak about good things anyway because it was inappropriate.
Yeah.
It's like
so then
the room basically.
So you have to suffer, go through that suffering. You have to read it.
It's crazy because it's like, you feel like there's no light at the end of the tunnel because all you can see is suffering. I remember like part of me was just like, so where do we go from here? What next? Because all you're telling me is this has happened, but what next? Because at the end of the day, we all need to move on. Like, we need to be able to step forward. We need to make positive change. And the thing is, I feel like people, I don't want to say enjoy it, but it's like all these people, like these, like on Instagram, all these like big Instagram people with big followings are posting the same thing. Like, yeah, you're putting your petitions in the bio, but you're not talking about the petitions on my feed. You get what I mean? It's like, or you are purposely showing me suffering rather than showing me a solution to the problem. Like, okay, after the first day, the second day, like you can see how many people have viewed the video, how many people have seen the thing. So now, okay, then start talking about positive change. But no, it's like people, I don't want to say people want to see the suffering, but it's like that's what they're pushing out there.
I think also, like, now people with big platforms are now using it to, like,
get on the public's like good side. Like I've never posted anything about Black Lives Matter. I know it's been happening this whole time, but now that it's been documented and everyone's now behind the movement, I'm gonna push things out to make it look like I was always supporting, or
no, it's like a trend to them.
Essentially. And that I think is the most frustrating part. And also that everyone's just like completely just desensitized to all this kind of stuff
and
now.
it's so scary.
And I think we're all like pretty empathetic in this situation. And I feel like it's come to a point where when I leave my house, I'm a little bit scared. Or like when I see a police car drive by, you know, I kind of just freeze in place for a second. It just, the overexposure has just gotten to a point in like myself, I don't know if anyone else, that it's giving me paranoia in a way. And I think that it's just a lot of people are suffering with that now. And I don't really see an end to it.
I feel like it's rather than pushing up fight the power, it's more like be scared. Like it's like there's danger all around us and keep looking out for the danger. But the bubble has been burst. Like the bubble of comfortability and like living out of reality has been burst, and I can't put the pieces back together anymore.
But has it only now been burst?
But
Because it's always been a thing. I've never been, a police car always drove by and I was always feeling some type of way.
But I feel like personally I became desensitized to that because you know when you push the reality out of your mind, like you're like, oh, like you see
it happens, but not
it's just like
it doesn't
background.
It's background noise to me. Like it wasn't at the forefront. It was like, oh, someone laughed at, someone called me a certain word, that's their own. Like I keep stepping. But now it's like they call me a certain word. Oh my gosh, now I'm deep.
can't
And I think that with the whole even like the kind of bubble kind of being burst, I think it's like in many different aspects. I think that like for one, a lot of us experience microaggressions, racism at young, like ridiculously young ages, but not having understood them fully, and now it's like, rah, like this actually happened to me, like this is what's going on, this is what's happening to me, and you're now kind of, with that comes all the hurtful emotions and things that, you know, you didn't understand when you were younger, but now you do. So you've got that bubble burst, like that kind of naivety, that innocence, but you've also got the bubble of like, now it's kind of, not only, I think it's hard to live your life in a way that like, you don't feel guilty. Like I think it's gone to a stage now where if I was to, I don't know, smile and live my life and choose that like I'm gonna be happy and we're gonna go out and we're gonna have a good time, and I'm now snapping it or I'm tweeting, oh my gosh, I had the best day.
It's like a taboo now.
I feel guilty. There's a whole lot of all this like shit going on in the world, and it's like, how am I supposed to continue to live my life when all of this is happening? And I think that even if we like put like Black Lives Matter aside, I think the Yemen thing was another thing. Like, okay, we're still dealing with the whole situation. Like people being murdered, and now every day I'm seeing children who are ridiculously malnourished on my time. Like it's
you know what, I have a bone to pick with that. I'm sorry. I have a whole. Like, you know, do you remember when we were younger, we'd see those adverts for like water aliens, children, malnourished, have big, like they have the, what's it called, that thing where they, that, and it's just like, when, like, I remember when the TV, my mom had to turn it off, like, back then when we were younger, my mom would purposely turn off the TV because she didn't want to see it, like, because it hurt her that much, but now, like, I realised it, like, I was scrolling through my feed and I saw it, and I just, like, I scrolled.
That's all you can do.
And it was just like, then I scrolled back and I was just like, I have become so normalized, so desensitized to seeing someone malnourished, someone on the edge of their deathbed, that I can scroll past because it doesn't affect me. And it's really scary because before, like, when, like, the whole point of these things is like to shock you and be like, yo, these things are really happening, like, you have to learn. But now it's come to a point where, like, yeah, I know, okay.
So it's like we've past being educated to
like,
a point whereby it's just too much.
It's like it's come to a point where it's like
reacting.
Yeah. But I think
I realised recently on Twitter, especially when the Yemen thing came out, is so you know how you're meant to like and retweet to spread awareness. Like if you like it, it's going to show up on someone else's timeline. I couldn't even like it because I was like, if I'm liking this, I don't like it. I don't like it. So therefore, I can't like this tweet because I don't like what's going on here. I always was like, Twitter, you need to make a dislike button that also shares, because I honestly could not get myself to press a like button on a picture of like a dying child. Like I just couldn't do that at all, and it made me feel like almost like a traitor. Like I was just gonna let it happen, but honestly, I can't associate like and that picture together. I can't put those two together.
Because like, even on Instagram, you know when you like put it on your story, most of the time like I don't like the pictures like when you post it for them. It's like, but if I posted that, now someone's gonna be like, but how can she post something that she didn't like? Because obviously that means she didn't look at the thing. It's just like, let me go back and like the picture so people know I actually saw the thing. But it's just like that whole thing, it's like everyone's keeping up with the Joneses. Like no one is actually doing this now to actually spread awareness. It's like when you first do it, you're like, okay, I want other people to see it, but then you're like, you have that secondary thought, like,
am I doing too much?
Am I doing too much? I don't want people to judge me. I don't want this. Like, it's like, I don't know if I've seen like so much in this sector. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, I want to spread awareness, but at the same time, social media has become such a toxic environment. Like, spreading awareness is now, like, people, when you want to spread awareness is not the only factor now. It's also, oh, are you just doing this for clout? Oh, are you just doing this so people think that you care? Like, it's just,
I remember Blackout Tuesday. I felt so bad because I wasn't on social media, and because I didn't want to go on, but then I was like, but do I have to post a black square? Because if people see I haven't posted a black square, they're gonna be like, oh, so you don't care. But I couldn't go on social media that day.
I didn't do that. Up to this day, I don't understand what the point of it was.
Do you know what? Like,
I did
solidarity. You know, it is what it is. At least solidarity, whatever. Like, do whatever trend. Like, do whatever you feel is best. I really don't.
But it's just like it's a trend.
It's a trend. But
why
like,
is it a trend? We shouldn't be doing that.
What did it do? It's like you're posting a black tile, but what did you actually?
What did you gain?
Do? Like,
what did you actually gain?
Did you do anything to help
and
the
I
situation?
think I think that what's scary about all of this going around on social media is like, okay, so now we're spreading suffering willy-nilly, and it's like people don't even know why they're doing it. And it's like, okay, like for example, to me, the most educational things to me are, by the way, this is what's happening in text, okay? In Yemen, coronavirus will do this, XYZ, and I can post that and I can read that, and it's still like, okay, cool, like I'm learning something. Even with a lot of the Black Lives Matter things, reading things that historic documents, different stories of like versions of the history that we were taught, like learning and posting and re-education is more important to me than pictures and videos of people dying. Like I think it's just gotten to a stage now where people are just posting things because okay, cool, but it's like, why? Are you trying to educate, or are you just spreading suffering? And
because I would definitely agree with you in terms of like text and images and like videos, because I remembered when the old George Floyd happened, and it was a thing whereby for me it felt like I was replaying the video of what happened in my mind constantly. And I remember it got to a point whereby I was in my room for close to 2 days, just literally sobbing, because each time I closed my eyes, that was all I saw. It was that suffering I saw. And it's a thing whereby I feel like we've gotten to a point whereby there is education and there is overexposure. Because the thing whereby when you scroll through your timeline, I'm sorry, back then it was all you could see. It was all you could see. It wasn't a thing whereby you could just watch the video once. You had to watch it 1,000,000 times, and it was ingrained in people's mind basically. So it's a thing whereby at the end of the day, people are not saying we don't want to see it. People are saying we don't want to have a constant reminder or image in our memory.
And if you're gonna post it, trigger warning, cover it, like come with a warning beforehand. Because all I know is anybody who did it, the minute I heard the sound of his voice, tap, like I just had to tap it, because at the end of the day, I have to protect myself too. Like all of this is going on, and you know it's sad, and we're all deeply moved by it. Like, but there's an element of self-service I have to myself. Like there's things I have to do for myself. Like I know I couldn't even watch the beginning of the video, because when you hear the pain in his voice, the way he's shouting and the way he's screaming, I had to tap. I was very upset.
I haven't watched the video yet.
I've not watched it with sound.
I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it.
Like the voice of the recorder.
That's
what you're playing in your mind every single day.
It started and I had to just tap, because I don't want to hear him take his. I don't want to know what words he said before. Like I don't need to hear it. It's way too.
It's too much.
Painful. It's way too much. So I think it's all about striking the balance, and I think that we also have, I guess, on the flip side though, like we're able to be like, okay, we're overexposed, and it's painful to us, but people watch that, like not through a video. People,
The girl that recorded it.
had to stand there, beg the police officers and watch that. Like it really was people's reality, and what we're finding very painful to watch through a screen, to see through a picture, to experience in a video, people are seeing in 4D. Like there are people in Yemen
they're suffering.
emaciated. Like that's what all they're looking at each other like, where do we go from here?
Kids are eating leaf.
And
You see
that's
those leaves
why-
are about God.
Yeah, they're only eating leaves.
Who? The
The
children
kids
in
in
Yemen.
Yemen.
They're
Yeah.
eating leaves.
They only have leaves to eat. It's
Yeah.
very sad.
But it's the thing is, I don't think it's a problem that it's recorded, that it's shared. I feel like if you're sharing it, why are you doing it? Are you showing it for the fun so that everyone can see it? Are you just adding to other people's suffering? Or are you sharing it for an educational purpose? Are you doing it for a reason? If there's a reason why you posted it, then that's fine. Like I didn't do the Blackout Tuesday because I didn't see the reason by it. I never posted the video of George Floyd because I
Couldn't watch it.
I couldn't watch it. I didn't think other people needed to watch it, but some people did. Because some people need to see it to see that this is real life and this is how people are dying, and that's okay. That's fine.
One of the things that actually made me upset during the whole thing was people's, first of all, inability to educate others, and people's inability to celebrate small wins. And in a time when you're just like a tsunami of suffering, you want to see those small wins. Like I remember when that mayor, so how do you say it? Mayor, painted Black Lives Matter on the street up to the White House, and she renamed it Black Lives Matter Plaza.
Yeah.
And I remember that, just seeing that tweet, I was like, that's a really good thing. I understand that there's still a lot of work to be done, but that's a statement that shows that you're committed to the cause. And then for me to open the thread and the first comment I see is, well, they're still going to kill us on that plaza. I was like,
Where do you go?
are we? So can we never have any progress? Like
We can't win.
we have to
Can't
make
win.
small steps. It can't be immediately today the whole police department is going to be reformed.
And that's actually a good point. Like Rome wasn't built in a day. You know, we all know that saying. Like we can't expect literal systematic
Something that was
things
built
things
400
that have been there for
450 years ago.
centuries to overnight collapse, and we're now living in a utopia. Like it's not gonna happen. And I think that people were way too judgy. Like, okay, like even if like, who are you to determine why someone didn't post something, why someone did post something, why they chose, like, to me, like, okay, you can ask people to introspect, you can ask people to look into it, but if someone chose not to use their social media platform to post a picture of something or to share a video, you don't know what they're going through. And I'll say this especially for the whole sexual assault thing that also came out, because if you look at it, like, you never know what people are going through, you don't know what people have experienced, you don't know how traumatic something is. Someone might not be ready to come out there and talk about something if they haven't healed themselves. So don't be expecting people to go up there and be like doing this and that, because I think that in addition to the suffering of actual people, all we were seeing was people being hateful. Like, it was like, okay, if you're not talking about what's happening and spreading all of that, you're also now bashing people because they did this, bashing people because they did that, bashing all of this and that, and amongst all this that's going on.
And then if you try to go back to normal, back to before everyone's
No,
like,
yeah,
why
you
are
trying
you
to
going
go back
back
to normal?
You're ignoring the issue at hand.
Yeah.
We all
Like,
see
we
the
know.
issue at hand.
Like, and I also feel like people are just forgetting the fact that not everyone, like, different people have their different lanes in terms of what they do. I can be signing petition, I can be posting on social media. You could actually be out there protesting. If we're all doing the same thing and we're not doing other things, then what's gonna get done? So people are saying you're not posting Blackout Tuesday. Oh, so now you're not doing anything. But I'm sorry, the money I donated to Yem, do you know about that one? Or the protest that I went to, were you there?
The email that I
That I
sent to the
sent
mayor,
to the mayor. Did you send that?
the law that I changed.
But like,
What do you know
what
about
did you
that
like
one?
example?
What-
Remember
Why would
like-
you answer to one?
Remember for like weeks everyone was like, oh, Kanye's not said anything. In fact, I don't even know why people were praising Kanye for not saying anything, but hey, that's culture. But they were like, Kanye's not said anything. Only to find out Kanye donated 2 million.
For the child to go to
Where's your
uni.
money?
So you can't really
Set
just
the
make
child up.
judgments about what people are or aren't doing.
And that's the thing, social media is so judgmental.
So
It's a
It's
race.
so
Who's doing it
judgmental.
better?
Like, you can't do anything on social media without one person saying this. And I think people have too much confidence, but just because you're doing Twitter fingers,
Because it's behind extreme.
if we pull up to your house,
Come buck me. I'm a sucks event.
I haven't suffered. Okay. You know what? Yeah, I learned this from Shrek. So you know what? Yeah, you see an onion. It has layers. Do you know what also has layers? Human beings. Human beings are not tied to only one personality. I can be black and a female. I can be black and have money. I can be black and go to university. Yes. I can be black and be a cleaner.
There's too many revelations, please.
I can be black and be an engineer. I can be black and be a doctor. I can be black and work in a grocery store. I can be black and trans. I can be black and straight.
Spill it.
But you know what? One does not take away from the other. I just had to drop that truth bomb really straight from the topic.
Yeah, really did.
So all can attest to the fact that we all have a privilege from seeing that we get to see the suffering from our friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like we understand that we are privileged in the fact that we are not seeing the suffering firsthand. But at the same time, I feel like everyone needs to understand that it can be overwhelming, and it could be like, if I'm overwhelmed, I can't do anything anyways. Like, because I will be in a place where I'm stagnant.
Yeah.
Like something.
Question yourself if you're doing enough.
Yeah, I think it's everything in moderation. I feel like there needs to be more laws to moderate what we can see.
Yeah.
And especially, I think people need to think about what they need to post. Like, who said that before? Someone said that. Yeah. So people need to think about what they post. Like,
And why?
And what's the reason you're posting it?
I think we should. We see a lot of suffering, but I feel like it has to happen. I'm sorry, because it took George's death being recorded for all of this to happen.
Yeah.
For it to begin. People have been dying.
Yeah.
They stay being dying since his death. There's been hundreds of other deaths.
Yeah, it was like 120 between 2 months.
Yeah. So the numbers are crazy. So I feel like, yes, it is a lot. And I feel like if there's less, will the change still happen? I don't know. So I feel like it's up to us as individuals you have to check yourself.
Yeah.
When you reach your limit, please stop.
Yes.
Don't question
feel
yourself.
guilty.
Don't think that, people will now question if I'm doing this, if this. Stop questioning yourself. If it's too much, please turn it off.
Just take a step
But
back.
I feel like we also need to get to a point where the conversation shifts from this is what is happening to this is what we can do. Because I feel like, it's true, like, these videos and pictures and whatever, they really do spark something in people, and that's kind of what sparks this kind of movement, right? But it's now a stage of like, okay, so now we've got to the point where we know we're in the midst of the movement. We've started it. We know it's now like, what can we do? And I think that's kind of how we move forward. Like, okay, so we know people in Yemen are starving. We know that Saudi Arabia has put a barricade, and that's why they can't have any food. They're not, like, there is no movement of food in there. What needs to be done for all of this to settle down, for these people to receive food?
Who do I need to write to?
Who do I need to write to? How can I help?
Do I need a plane to fly out?
Like,
Am I
what
physically
is-
opening the barrier? Like, tell me what's going on.
At the end of the day, there's no point us.
the UN.
Like,
At the end, there's no point us knowing and just feeling helpless. That's just misery. It's actually just like pure misery for no reason.
That's when it becomes over.
Yeah, that's when it becomes too much.
When I'm just seeing it, can't do anything.
Yeah,
we're sitting here.
Because you're like, I can't do anything, and then I'm feeling sad.
Yeah.
It's the sadness, and it's just in your heart.
It just sits in
You
your
feel
chest.
guilty that I can't do anything. I'm seeing it. What am I doing? Am I liking it? Should I post it?
what should I do?
And I think this is especially important for the fact that there are kids on social media, which is why there's moderation, because they definitely can't do anything. So if you're just giving, already we as adults who can sign things, give money,
Okay.
who can sign things and give money, like, we're already overwhelmed. Imagine someone who's empathetic, who's 10, who doesn't have the power to sign anything, and doesn't have the power
even
to
if
do
you're
anything.
on social media as a 13-year-old, which is kind of the age, right?
Yeah.
Even
The
if,
legal one.
like, that's a lot for a 13-year-old to consume. Because let's not gonna lie, even in that stage of secondary school, we were still quite naive.
Why?
In terms,
You don't know anything. You haven't even done GCSE. You haven't seen anything. You don't
You
know
have
anything.
stats to your name.
I'm sorry. Like,
No GCSE.
no A-levels.
No GCSE, no A level, you will end up in McDonald's.
What did you say? All you have is a birth certificate.
So it's
something else.
So it's like it's definitely a lot, and I think it's just kind of like being cautious of not just you, but the platform that you're on,
Just be
and
nice
who
to
can
people.
see it. Just
Yeah.
be kind.
I feel like we should just get to a point whereby people know that just because you're sharing and next door neighbor is not doing exactly that doesn't mean they're not doing something different. So it's that culture of calling people out in terms of like, just because I'm doing something else, it doesn't mean I don't care about what's going on. Just because you can't see what I'm doing behind the scenes doesn't mean I'm not doing anything. So you just fight your own battle, fight the lane you're fighting, go on the lane of, if it's yours is protesting, go on that lane. If yours is doing like posting on social media but post with caution, go on that lane. If I'm donating, don't come and ask me that this, but you did not post Blackout Tuesday. I'll look at you and say, was I even able to go on social media, because I couldn't even see it. So that's the issue of you calling out people that are believing things or people that are really going through it, but they're still doing stuff, but you don't know. You're just doing your own mouth. Jump on the trend. This is not a trend. This is people's reality.
I think say that again for the people in the back.
It is not a trend. This is people's reality.
Correct.
Open your ears.
I think on that point as well, like now, like a few weeks after, it seems more like it was a trend, because like when you go on Twitter, nothing's trending anymore. Like people, it's less and less retweets. Like the numbers are dwindling day by day. So it's like people hopped on this bandwagon because everyone was on it, and now they got a few things done. Like a few things were successfully passed, and now there's less tweets about it. It's like on my timeline, because I mainly follow like only Black people, I see like 3 or 4 people like struggling, tweeting every day. Breonna Taylor's killers are still on the loose. Like we can't stop. We need to.
Do you know what? Today would be a good day to arrest the people that killed Breonna Taylor. Like, it would be a great day.
The sun is shining.
I can be my birthday present.
My birthday's coming up. Like
Yeah,
give me
I
that. I'm okay with that.
And for Christmas, I want the police to be defunded.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
I like that idea.
Yeah, do you think? Yeah.
I do think that with the whole dwindling retweets and I think it's a lot of people that have just taken a step back. Like I'm not gonna lie, I've stopped retweeting stuff at this point in time. I've stopped like posting everything because I think it's just gone to a point where, like I said, I actively run away from social media for the past couple of weeks. If you ever see me in this house, what am I doing? I'm watching Hannah Montana. No lie, no lie. Literally, because at this point it's like it becomes a lot, and I think a lot of people have now gone, okay.
See, but I'm reverse.
That's a bittersweet situation.
See, like when the whole thing was happening, I barely posted anything. But now everything is died down. I'm taking an active step to post things because it's like, let me know, like when
room to breathe.
Yeah, now I can breathe. I can take 3 breaths. Like literally, like when it first happened, I could not do it. I couldn't post everything I've seen. I just took my phone down, and the part of me was like, I felt guilty for not posting it. I was like, I'm not doing anything to help. But now, like I've everything has taken time, and now it's like when I'm like, okay, when I see this, oh yeah, today's a good time for Breonna Taylor to be there.
I go on your Insta story every day to learn something.
Like now is the time where I'm posting more, because I feel like now is the time that we should be more active when no one else is listening, when people are not active. You get what I mean? Because people are active because they see other people active. But I don't want it to be something that's forgotten. I want it to be in your memory every day.
It's like part of being a trend.
But I think it comes down to the point of, does it have to be trending on social media to still be?
They're still marching in the US.
Yeah,
they're still marching.
doing it.
My thing is just like, I think that we just have like we literally just sitting here. There's 2 different types of people. Me at the beginning, it was post, share. Comfort was like, I need a minute. Comfort took a minute, came back. Me, I'm having my minute. Like I need a pause, like I need a break, and it just became too much for me. So I literally have been running away from social media as much as I can. I'm probably just sticking to different Instagrams that have followed different people that it kind of still hides me away from all of what is going on, just because I need a break at the moment. So I think it just comes down to, do you like do what makes you feel comfortable, do what makes you feel okay, and like do that, like,
because there's many ways to help.
There's
My chosen battle is in real life, because I realized as I just let things slide. So my chosen battle is try me. Nothing's going to slide past me.
I am a brick wall.
As in, talk, say something. I promise you, I'm not letting anything slide, because you need to know. You need to know. I used to feel bad when I'll call someone racist. There's one time I said that's a bit racist. They flipped out. They're like, how dare you call me racist? I can't let that happen anymore. I'm really, really sorry.
I'm calling you racist because
I'm
you're
not letting
racist.
it run. I will educate you because you need the education. Educating people is hard. I did it one time. I took a week off because it hurt my brain. But it's something that they need. It is needed, and that is my chosen battle.
And on a note to like, when people like, if a black person tells you, a non-black person, that something is racist, something is inappropriate,
Why are you
just
fighting?
take it. Don't fight me.
If I felt the feeling, how are you telling me I didn't
Telling
feel it?
me what I'm feeling.
Like, just don't
Think about
fight
it.
it. Because
Think about
you're actually just adding to the pain, you're adding to the anger. Like, you know when you just be reading threads on Twitter or anything or Instagram and someone says Black Lives Matter, people are coming with all lives matter, or people are saying this and that, and like, just take it. Like, just take it. If I'm telling you that what you said was inappropriate, just take it. Just shut up and sit down.
If you want
and
to
take
ask
it.
the question like how, I can tell you how.
Exactly.
I can tell you why, where, what, whatever you want. I can
All
tell
of
you.
the documents.
But don't tell me I am wrong.
Yep.
Don't
Do
tell
not
me.
diminish my feelings.
Don't gaslight me. And I also feel like black people pattern your friends.
Always, forever.
Let me say this
Because
one. Your white friends that you always say, oh well, you're almost black too. What does that mean?
They're
You're
white.
basically saying to them they can call you because now they're black now.
And then they start moving sideways to another black person.
and then they get shouted at, but they're like,
And
"My
then
friend
they're-
told it was
Oh,
okay."
blood friend.
You are now Nazi. Come and talk.
You are now a problem. I will fight you too. You are the problem. Don't call me coloured either. I'll fight you on that.
And
You are
don't,
non-coloured.
and don't say
God's coloured
don't
being.
say all this nonsense. I don't see colour.
Don't say that.
See my colour. See my struggle.
If you're colourblind,
I know
go
you
to an
ain't.
optician.
If you're that colourblind,
Now we're not
that's
that's
an
our
issue.
conversation.
But anyway, to wrap things up.
I say that's what I was trying to do, yo.
Struggle is struggle.
The struggle, like it's
Suffering is
sad.
suffering.
It is sad, and it's just like I think the conclusion is deal with it in your own way, the way that makes you most comfortable.
You're doing it right.
And I know at the moment, I think is it Black Minds or something like that. I'll link it down below, but they're doing like free like therapy session courses for black people at the moment.
And-
So y'all can get involved with that. See, black
And
people
Great things.
I would just say everyone has their own part to play in the world. Like, yes, we're all talking about the issue of the Black Lives Matter because that's what affects us the most. But it doesn't mean we're diminishing the whole thing going on in Yemen. It doesn't mean we're all going on diminishing all the things going on about sexual assault. Like, everyone has their part to play in this plan. If your path is to fight the people, fight the rapists, fight all of them, that's your path. If your path is to go and solve world hunger, that's your path.
And we applaud you.
We applaud you.
Thank you.
So, but don't think that what our path is doesn't diminish your path.
I think that's the
And you want us? If you want some backing, I'll back you.
I'll back.
Shout
Well,
out.
I'll
back
back
anything.
you.
Shout
Call
back
me.
anything.
I'm back. I'm ready.
I'll come running.
I'm here.
Yeah, so I think it's just like there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's only so much any person can take. Yeah. At the end of the day, all
See,
we can really do is give it to God. Like really and
All the
truly.
praise goes to the
So it's
Maker.
just like make sure that you're protecting yourself in the environment that we're in, because as harmful as it can be is as helpful as it has been. So, you know, if it's too much for you, take a break, take time out, do something like go do something else, because like you're important to you.
Like
And
one
you
thing
have a right
I've
to
learned
that.
is if the whole world can stop for a pandemic, if social media is going through a pandemic, you can stop too. You can stop.
Did you hear that?
Mukbe, look, listen to me. You can stop.
Do you want her to repeat? Because you can do that too.
It's possible.
Even Clara with a British accent.
Oh, that's not.
All right.
Well,
So y'all, I hope that you know this conversation was like interesting to watch. It's hella long, but you know, but like a lot more could have been said. We could have started going into every issue if we really wanted to. Like we really stopped.
We're gonna talk
ourselves.
about what's it called? Somalia.
Let's not flip over any new rocks.
Yes.
That one.
get rolled up.
So you know, like there's a lot going on in the world. Like educate yourself, but protect yourself at the same
We're gonna talk about
time.
the slave trade going on in Libya.
And go and
We're gonna talk
like
about global warming,
shut up.
climate change.
The timing is changing.
Climate is changing.
So like it's really like good. Just go learn, go wisen up a bit. But wherever it's too much, take a break, protect yourself, and just like be nice, be friendly, take time, and eventually we'll live in a better world. Hopefully.
Amen.
So that's, you know, that's where we're set, okay?
Protect your
So guys,
mental
don't
health.
forget to
Like,
comment, and subscribe.
Put the little bell on too.
Yeah, put them notifications on.
And like, let us know what other like things you want us to delve
And
into.
join us back.
LCSS. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Okay, bye!